If you own a home in Florida or you're thinking about buying one, you should know there is a bill moving through the state legislature right now that could save you thousands of dollars a year. I'm talking about Florida's property tax reform, specifically HJR 203. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what it says, where it stands today, and what it means for buyers and sellers right here in North Palm Beach County. Stay with me. This one matters. So first, what is HJR 203? It stands for House Joint Resolution 203, and it was filed by Representative Monique Miller out of Palm Bay. The proposal is a constitutional amendment that would phase out all non-school property taxes on Florida homesteads, meaning your primary residence over 10 years. Starting in 2027, the homestead exemption would increase by $100,000 every single year. By January 1st, 2037, if this passes, homeowners like you and me would owe zero in county, city, and special district property taxes. School taxes stay in place, but that non-school portion, gone. Here's where it gets interesting. The Florida House passed this bill on February 19th. The vote was 80-30. That's a strong, decisive margin. But when it went to the Senate, nothing happened. The bill died in the Senate Appropriations Committee. On March 13th, when the regular legislation session ended, it never even got a hearing. Now, Governor DeSantis has called a special session starting April 20th, 2026, and property tax reform may be added to that agenda. So this story is not over. We're watching it very closely. Now, let's talk about what this actually means for you if you are buying in our market. Here in Palm Beach County, the effective property tax rates run about 1% to 1.9%, depending on your municipality. On a $600,000 home with a homestead exemption, the non-school portion of your tax bill might be anywhere from $3,500 to $6,000 a year. If HJR 203 passes, that number starts dropping immediately in 2027 and hits zero by 2037. That's a meaningful reduction in your carrying cost. And for buyers relocating from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, or Illinois, that makes Florida's affordability story even more compelling. I will say this though, do not budget based on this relief yet. Until it clears a voter referendum, and it would need 60% approval statewide, lenders will still escrow based on the current tax rate. If you're a seller, here's your angle. The buzz around this legislation is already generating demand, and our market, Jupiter, Palm Beach Gardens, Juno Beach, North Palm Beach, Senior Island, is exactly where relocating buyers are looking. This is the kind of story that turns someone who's been thinking about moving to Florida for the past 2 years into someone who calls their realtor this week. Your home's value proposition just got stronger. One important note though, this bill only benefits primary residences with a homestead exemption. Investment properties, second homes, rentals, none of those are affected. In fact, those property owners may end up bearing a higher share of the local tax burden over time if municipalities need to compensate for lost homestead revenue. I want to be straight with you because that's what I do. There are real concerns about this bill statewide. Cities and counties depend on non-school property tax revenue to fund things like parks, libraries, public works, and infrastructure. The Florida League of Cities estimates the fiscal gap could reach into the billions annually. Some analysts have pointed out that cities might compensate by raising non-ad valorem assessments, things like stormwater fees, fire assessments, solid waste fees, which would offset some of your savings. The net benefit may be smaller than the headline suggests. What I'd encourage everyone to do right now is to pull your actual tax bill, understand what your school portion is today, and talk to your real estate and financial advisors about how this could realistically affect your situation. I'm Amanda Sweets, Realtor with Keller Williams Realty of the Palm Beaches, and I specialize in helping buyers and sellers navigate this market, including the relocation clients, the probate situations, and the life transitions that bring people to and through North Palm Beach County. If you have questions about what your property taxes look like today or how this legislation could factor into your decision to buy or sell, my contact information is in the description below. Hit subscribe, and I'll have an updated video the moment something changes out of that April 20th special session. Thanks for watching. Your next chapter is your best.